Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play series where we will continue in our game with Aragorn's campaign. I did have to kill the music completely in my recordings. In the last episode I uploaded on YouTube, YouTube Studio actually signaled that I have a couple of potential copyright infringements due to the music. There were a couple of songs that YouTube automatically detected. They only lasted about a couple of minutes. However, and it's amazing that YouTube can do this, YouTube can remove the songs from the audio for the file. However, it took about half an hour for each song, so an hour in total. And if we have to do that for 10 different songs, then I really do not want to have to wait that long to remove those songs. So for that reason, unfortunately, I had to kill the music in the game, which is a pity because the music is extremely good. So we're back again. Aragorn is in the middle of a hunt. We need to host a grand wedding with Arwen. We have 3 years to fulfill this promise. We won't be able to do it in the middle of a hunt. Uh, And apparently Elrond is at war, which means we will have to wait a bit for that to finish, because we won't be able to marry Arwen while she is fighting, which is extremely annoying. Prince Theodred has finally been murdered. Um, this is an event that fires with Rohan, which means King Theoden no longer has a direct heir. There are 2 houses in his dynasty. His house, the house of Erling, has 2 living members in it, and it's himself and his sister. However, because his only son has died without producing an heir, that means the house of Eoforing will be the one inheriting, which means Eomer is going to be the future king of Rohan. We can see here that he married the princess of Dol Amroth. Glad to see she made it out alive all the way to adulthood. Uh, Conversely, we have Eowyn married to Faramir, who lost his holdings. He no longer has any territory, so he's now an adventurer, same as Boromir. Now, Boromir stands to inherit the territory that Denethor still holds. Denethor only holds Osgiliath at this point. The stewardship of Gondor has been reduced from a empire title to a kingdom title, which has no de jure territory. This will be addressed in a bit. Aragorn is currently in control of both the Kingdom of Gondor and the Kingdom of Arnor, because with his return to Gondor, the High Kingdom of Arnor is reformed, um, even though it's mostly empty. We also get the High Kingdom of Gondor, which, as far as the game is concerned, at the moment consists only of this territory, which also includes Ithilien, which we do not control. Some of it is wilderness, and most of it is in the hands of the Witch King. We will have to regain that. Now, Aragorn has a number of vassals, um, some of which are not in Gondor de jure territory. We can see here that this is de jure Enedwaith territory for the High Kingdom of Enedwaith. However, um, Aragorn has access to a number of decisions here, which we will be able to uh, fire in a bit. Not straight away, however, because he is Still busy on the hunt. I have actually never seen this one. Situated at the confluence of the Uyaldwin and the Loon, the city of Karaselarnian has always been one of the richer trade hubs of the north. As relations with the elves have improved, the city has grown truly opulent, and with a little investment we can establish it as an example of what men and elves can achieve when we work together. Loses the Kara Solarnian building, gains the Silver City of Solarnian. And to do that, Solarnian, where is this? Oh, there. Okay. So it loses the special building it has, which is a bit of money, and it gains what? It gains a bit more money, and it just needs development for that, and a lot of gold. So that's a new event for me. I haven't seen that before. We also have here the University of Nelvorin. I haven't seen this one either. Nelvorin has long been a center of learning in Eliador. However, it was never given the support and attention it needed to become a true center of learning for all of Middle-earth. We are now in a position to change that. It's time to establish a true university in the north to serve as a beacon of learning across the west. So, Nelvorin, which is there, it loses the Nelvorin building, which is a special building dating back to the first age, has been a center of learning, right? And it gains a University of Nelvorin, which is a very nice building to be fair. And it just needs, again, development and a lot of gold, which we actually cannot spare at the moment. We also get invest in Rudaur infrastructure. I haven't seen this one either. There's a lot of new events here. Gives every county in Rudaur the infrastructure campaign. Construct 3 cities in Rudaur. You completely control Rudaur. Every county in Rudaur has development greater than 5. And 3 counties in Rudaur has development greater than 10. And all of them get holding taxes of plus 20%, and you also get 3 cities. That's a lot of money to throw at it, so we'll see when we have the funds to do that. We will be having that kind of money. This is nothing at the moment. We do get the option to gaze into the Palantir. As soon as we get back from the hunt, we will be doing that. We have a chance to gain some skill points. And we have a bunch of options to restore some provinces here. So let's unpause this and let's start. And we get Anduril. So Anduril is the reforged blade of Narsil. It's one of the best weapons in the game. It's certainly not the only one. There's plenty of other weapons in the game that are very strong. We will be equipping that. It has infinite durability. This will never break unless something causes it to break. We're just gonna wait for Aragorn to get back from his hunt, which is currently underway. We will be starting a few conflicts. Our situation with Mordor, we're hunting deer, excellent. We have a truce for 2 years. That will not last long. That will finish quickly. We really need to grow our army in the meantime. He does have quite a few Olog High. They're still not stationed there. We'll see if he stations them prior to the conflict. He will probably declare war on us at first opportunity. severely injured. Interesting. So that's the end of that hunt. We gained the hunter trait and 10 experience in the trait. My world wants to be paranoid. No, we will not be doing that. We will take shy instead. It's better than the other ones. And we gained some more experience. Right. We will be taking... The Man-at-Arms counter efficiency is good. However, I'm really concerned about Sauron's Olog-hai and his heavy infantry. And we'll be countering both of those mostly with archers. I expect we're gonna lose a couple of battles as well, so the less retreat losses will help. I will be taking this, and hopefully we can get to strategist as fast as possible. So let's carry on. Is the war over? No, we cannot quite get married yet. We will gaze into the Palantir. We won't fund the Holy Order just yet. So we can do what Denethor was doing and basically look into the Palantir. We have a chance here to get some perks. We'll see if it fires. We gained a Martial perk, that's good. And one more. And the Diplomacy perk, that is brilliant. So we just got 2 perks for free. In the Diplomacy one, we will be taking Flexible Truces, because that means we have shorter truces, which is gonna come in handy. And in the Martial one, we're gonna continue down the path to Strategist. We have a bit of gold going on, so what I'm thinking of doing is hiring some crossbowmen. And now the choice is really between crossbowmen and Ithilien Rangers, because he has a lot of Uruks and a lot of Olog-hai. Right. Before we have a look at the army, just a quick thing. Aragorn inherits a bunch of soldiers when he comes to Gondor. He gets some great company, only 30 of them. They have stupidly good stats. Heavy infantry that counter almost everything known to man. But there's only 30 of them. They're never gonna regenerate. They're very valuable. And then he gets an army of 3,000 made up of a bunch of spearmen, a bunch of bowmen, which counter heavy infantry, swan knights, which are particularly powerful heavy cavalry, and some more guards of the citadel. This entire army is made up of professional soldiers. There are no levies. It's an incredibly strong group, but again, this is an inherited army and it will never regenerate, so we should use it sparingly, and if we can, we shouldn't use it at all. I seriously think we need 2 groups of crossbowmen, because we get 100 per group, and we can grow them currently to 14 groups. So that means 1400 that counter heavy infantry, and I don't think that will be enough to counter the amount of heavy infantry that Sauron fields. They also counter heavy cavalry and archer cavalry, and he does have some heavy cavalry. There's not a lot of them. However, when we will be attacking Sauron, he will be able to call in all of his tributary states. He has the Empire of the Golden Realm of Medlo-Shukain, which is an empire title. They have quite a bit of troops, and among those troops they tend to bring horse archers as well. He also gets the Varyags, and the Varyags are exactly known for horse archers. They have quite a few of them. very strong army. The pikemen in particular are kind of good because they counter heavy infantry, which is what heavy infantry is supposed to kill. They're supposed to target spearmen. He'll also have the support of the Kingdom of Haruzan and a bunch of other lower titles around here. They also have pretty solid troops. These archers target archers and heavy infantry. They don't look like archers at all, but there we go. Um, the skirmishers target other skirmishers. The Serpent Guard are pretty effective heavy cavalry. And they also get bonuses in desert, which is their home, where I'm pretty sure we get penalties. Yeah, so desert mountains we get penalties on cavalry. Mostly on cavalry apparently, and on our archers as well. But at this point I suspect we really need the additional crossbowmen rather than the Athelian Rangers, so I will be recruiting another group of crossbowmen. We'll be able to fill them up as we go. Priority, however, are the trebuchets. A few more spearmen once we have the money, and a few more Dunedain Rangers to counter those Ologhai, because those Ologhais are gonna hurt something fierce. You're still quite some time away, but we can, however, because we're done with the hunt, we can proclaim the reunited kingdom. So once the Dunedain of Middle-earth were united under a single High King, Elendil, Isildur inherited this title after his father's death, but the differences between the two kingdoms resulted in it de facto ceasing to be after his death, with Meneldil in Gondor and Valandil in Arnor. The kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor thence charted separate courses and separate fates. Yet it a fact, not sure that's not a typo there, though two kingdoms, north and south, once they were one. If the crowns of both kingdoms could be brought together, perhaps the two realms in exile could be reunited into a single whole, as they were always meant to be. So we're gonna get a bunch of renown here, and we're gonna get the title for the reunited kingdom. So we're gonna launch that, and with the attendance of all the noblemen of both Gondor and Arnor before me, I proclaim what I already know to be a historic moment. Today marks the first step towards the complete union of the realms once more under a single ruler. Our lands have stood divided for centuries. This division has created strife between the peoples of both land, ensuring that authentic unity cannot come from decree alone, but instead from bridging the differences among the land. We shall strive towards a future where all who call these lands home acknowledge the kingdoms as one, renewed and reunited at last. And what that just did, it created the Reunited Kingdom title, which currently has no de jure land. That will change. Interesting. And we also hold the other High Kingdom titles. Now, as Aragorn, I don't exactly control a lot of land. We have here the Lordship of Nithgard, which is where we start. Drumtheas, which is one of our colony, which is a blank colony at the moment. Lordship of Malrith, Lordship of Minas Tirith, Lordship of Anuminas. Oh yes, we do get Anuminas. When we move to Gondor, the vassal we had here, namely this lovely gentleman, he used to hold Anuminas. The moment you move to Gondor, the three surrounding lands around Anuminas get populated by the Northern Dunedain, and this vassal takes control of all of these. This happens unless you colonize these three lands with Aragorn. So if you colonize these three lands with Aragorn, this event doesn't. Uh, I'm not sure how this event will fire. You do get Anuminas regardless, because this is the seat of kings for the High Kingdom of Arnor. So you do get the ruins of Anuminas, which will get rebuilt later on. And now we stand under the Reunited Kingdom, which we will need to slowly rebuild. We have factions targeting me. Which factions? Here. Why? It's a faith problem. So, I'm gonna ask you to convert said faith. I'm sure you'll do just swell. And we probably should go to war here. Oh, hello. You are being invaded by Haruzan for the Haven of Ramshad, so he wants the territory in the south. You're being invaded by my vassal for a territory that is not his de jure territory. And you are also being invaded by your own vassal in his claim for the haven as well. This is a rather unpleasant situation. I think I'm gonna let Haruzan win. But I also think I'm gonna attack this particular land because it's being attacked by my vassal. He could technically win the war, but he'll get control of a territory that's not de jure his to hold. We don't want him to have that territory. So we're gonna wait a bit for our trebuchets to get populated. In the meantime, we do need to station our troops. Minas Tirith gets a bonus to heavy infantry and spearmen. 7855. I think I'm gonna station the heavy infantry because that's the most we have at the moment. And we're gonna station the spearmen just to the north of that because they do get a solid bonus. We're gonna station our special archers in Fenasdrunin. We're gonna station the trebuchets somewhere as well. This would be a good spot. 11 points there, 6.7 there, 13 points there, and you lot, 52, 81. 81 would be better, but how much would my archers get? Not a lot. And it's our archers that are gonna need to do a lot more. So we'll station our heavy cavalry there. Our light cavalry there, and that's the most that we can station. So we'll let the army populate. We will be recruiting a few more troops in the meantime. We do need more spearmen. That's a given, because Sauron has scouts and Caragors. Did you already win this? No, you lost it. Interesting. Well, that serves me just fine, actually. And you're gonna lose against Haruzan. We do get Divine the Stars again. So let's fire Divine the Stars. Is the conflict over? It is. So we can hold the marriage. Do I want to fire this? How long is the truce? 20 months. I think I do. I want to fire this conflict. We will holy war it, actually. Yeah. We're gonna fire this. Anticipating great battle. That's not gonna help us quite a lot because we're gonna be finishing this tree faster than that debuff is gonna go away. But we'll make use of what we can. We're gonna march that army there. We're gonna set our marshal to reduce our army cost because I desperately need money. That's nice. Speaking of, we should have better counselors now. So if we take a look, we have Prince Imrahil the Fair of Dol Amroth, who is the best fighter by far. So we're gonna pick him to be our marshal. Steward. It won't make a difference between the two of them. So I'll keep the Noldor. Lore Master. We do have access to a better Lore Master. We'll swap. And we do have access to a better Chancellor as well. In regards to a Spy Master. Sure. We'll take him, though he's not gonna last long. Right, we need to change this. The most important thing we can research right now is standing armies because it will allow us to increase the size of our army. What else is being researched? All of these should be done. They are. So the only things left are here. So we'll be focusing on standing armies with our current knowledge base, learning skill. We can finish this in 26 years. We'll see if we can reduce that, but I have some doubts. I'm gonna use this to maybe level up the Besieger trait on Aragorn. It's gonna come in handy. Sure, we can be friends. You want to give me a courtier? He is a pretty solid fighter, I'll accept that. Speaking of fighters, we do have access to more accolades. The accolades we have are the tactician for the army damage and more archers as well. What can we form? I don't care about those. We could go for Vanguard, but Besieger would probably be better because we can get more siege weapons. We'll absolutely get Besieger. What else can we get? Stalwart, Idealist. I don't particularly care about these, though army toughness would be good. For now, we will take the Besieger, especially since he is an elf. That will mean he will not die of natural means, so we will get that. And finally, do we want Vanguard? It's not really the heavy infantry that's gonna do the heavy lifting for us. And it's not gonna be the Outriders either. So I think I'm gonna go for Stalwart actually. What is disciplinarian? Don't care about disciplinarian. Yeah, we're gonna go for stalwart because it will increase our army toughness in general by 15%, and that's not a small thing to have. We can get another trebuchet. We should do that. We should probably get at least 5 spearmen and more archers. We need to start working on our crossbowmen though. Any opportunity to make money is gonna come in handy at this point. We desperately need money because that truce is gonna come to an end soon. We have 18 months to get married. We should do that. Just need to finish this conflict quickly. There we are. We finished it. We can now I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna pass it over to my vassal. It's his de jure land, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. So there you go, vassal. Enjoy that. Go ahead and convert the faith. Now, normally, um, in the canon, Aragorn and Arwen got married in Minas Tirith. However, Minas Tirith is not currently our capital. We could move the realm capital there, but we won't because Aragorn is Gondorian and we'll have to switch him later on to Northern Dunedain. So we're gonna hold the wedding in Fenas Drunin, which unfortunately also means we'll be missing on a lot of experience that we can collect along the way. However, the way isn't entirely safe either. It would take a long time to get this done. We do not have the amount of time to wander about, so we're gonna do the wedding in Fenastronin so that the wedding can start as soon as possible. We will fire that and we will proceed to work on these crossbowmen. We desperately need counters for the heavy infantry that's about to come crashing down on us. We do get the counter efficiency though, so that's good. We can switch back our marshal to train our leaders now. And we'll wait for the wedding to fire off and watch as time goes by for our truce, because he's probably gonna attack us straight away. We do not have the necessary army to defend ourselves from him. He outnumbers us considerably. His army is stronger than what we have. We'll probably have to... Oh! And just like that, Saruman is gone. Decapitated by King Theoden. So we lost a major opponent in the north. Theoden has won against Saruman. I think I know what happened there. Grima still holds land in Dunland, but the King of Dunland is... well, that's unfortunate. The King of Dunland is of the White Hand faith, which was actually Saruman's thing. So he is evil. Even so, without Saruman, they don't pose anywhere near as big a threat as they did before. So the fact that Saruman is gone is a big thing. That means Rohan is safe, mostly. Which is a good thing. So Arwen becomes a soulmate. Galadriel thinks I'm a despicable character. That's nice. I do not want Galadriel as a rival, so we will eat up the stress. While she thinks we're despicable, she's also gonna gift us a very wonderful item, LSR, which is gonna increase renown by 10%, which is massive. We're gonna equip that straight away. People have doubts about the marriage, but Arwen is perfect. Something about a disaster, but it's just gonna be fine. You're stressing for no reason. 3 months and counting. We really need to increase this army. We really need to increase this army. Oh my days. Uh, you can actually say I don't want to spend the rest of my life with Arwen, which apparently carries consequences. We will not be doing that. We will be saying I do, because we know what's best for us. Warden of the Keys. We have a new position here. Monthly income while at war. We will be needing this so bad. It's unbelievable how bad we'll be needing this. We will accept this courtier who's also an elf. That's fine. Who benefits from this? Effect on Warden of the Keys, monthly martial lifestyle and stewardship. And you are neither of those things. So we're gonna appoint our steward actually. We will need a master of the horse as well. We can use our vassal here. That's gonna give us access to more knights. Personal champion doesn't really help us in combat, so that doesn't really matter. We do have an excellent caravan master, so we'll be switching that to prepare armies when the war comes. And the rest of it really doesn't matter. We'll be appointing bodyguards though, because that reduces my risk to die or be captured. Not that I think Aragorn really will be at the risk of that, considering he is an absolute killing machine with prowess of 75. But Sauron does have his Nazgul, which are just as dangerous. They are not a joke. We'll be having a closer look at the Nazgul later on. Here comes the feast. Good folk to mingle with. He wants to do what? A scheme at court, impatient or gluttonous? Uh, None of these are sins per se. We'll accept gluttonous, I think. It's the lesser of two evils. Although that's not great. The mother passed away, that's not good. The existence of Seduce High King LSR scheme is exposed. Someone wants to seduce me. Well, that's interesting. We do have a legacy, we will advance this legacy. We could actually get the House of Warriors. It would limit losses, it would increase pursuit efficiency, and dynasty members are less likely to die. Men-at-Arms counter efficiency. We don't really need the resilient bloodline right now. There is a very low chance of children inheriting bad congenital traits, so I don't think we need this right now. We could go for the better education traits. That's a good one to have, and also fewer complications during pregnancy. But I think right now the most beneficial will probably would be to go for the military branch, simply to limit the amount of damage that Sauron's army is gonna do. So we're gonna take that instead. 300 stewardship, 300 stewardship. So it's a question of who I want to be friends with. Sildan is already a friend. Menel Rana is not, so we'll go for him. You and Hiril Galadriel become friends. And there's a chance them to become friends. I don't care if they become friends. I do care if Galadriel becomes my friend instead. So we've made a friend. Can we get... Oh my days, we can get an alliance. Which means we would have access to Galadrim archers, warriors, and Lomi-Kendi archers. The question is, can we get an alliance with Sirdan instead? Because he also has very good troops. We can. This would be amazing. This is one of the benefits of having access to an elvish friend and the diplomacy perk from defensive negotiations, which means we'll be able to get an alliance with one of them and a defensive alliance with the other. And I honestly think I want to go for an alliance with Sirdan and a defensive one with Galadriel. Galadriel doesn't really hold territory here. We will need to establish... We'll need to take this territory, and unfortunately it's being held by a tributary of Galadriel, but that doesn't count as going to war against Galadriel per se. So I think we will ally with Sirdan, because we will never break that alliance. And I think we're gonna go for a defensive alliance with... Ah, she already has a defensive alliance. We'll do this instead. We'll see who answers first. Oh, we can get an alliance because of the marriage. Okay, great. So because we're married to Arwen, we can get an alliance between ourselves and Galadriel regardless. Can we ally him as well? We can. Let's do that. So now we're allied with a bunch of elves, and I feel more at ease regarding Sauron, because there is no way that if all of those troops converge, you will become the owner of Initial's necklace. I am not giving her the Ring of Barahir. That is too good to hold, so we will hold it. become the owner. Yeah, sure, we'll take that. And we'll promptly dismantle it, I think, because we actually don't need this. The spouse opinion is irrelevant. This is just an item that's being generated by the Grand Wedding event. We do have some more money. We do need to recruit some more troops, so let's do that. And we get even more money. Excellent. It all goes into the troops. All of it. Every last penny. And Arwen is pregnant. How is our truce? We have no more truce. So, what we need to do... we have a bunch of options here. We can either launch an invasion against Haruzan. I don't think I can attack him, not without adjacent territory. We could try to get adjacent territory with the Kingdom of Medlo-Shukain. And if we do that, we could attack him for the Kingdom of South Rovanian, which would put a severe dent in his troops. However, our path actually goes south mostly. We'll see. For now, we'll wait to fill up our troops, because we don't have the troops to attack anyone, really. I mean, I'm not gonna insult the lady, but I will be rejecting her swiftly. What is this? Either way, we lose something. Encampment of Fornost gains local setback. Local breakthrough. You gain popular ruling. You gain order ruling. Lordship of Anun. That's not directly under my control. I'd rather eat this myself, but I can't because I'm not the one who holds Fornost. That is unfortunate. He already has massive costs added here until 3013. What did you do to get this debuff? Holy cow. That's insane. 50% construction cost and time of plus 200%. How long does it take to build something here? 13 years. Jesus. Yeah. I'm gonna let Fornost have a local breakthrough because they are not in a good place to start with. My counselor died, meaning my spy master. We'll give it to him, I think. That should be fine for now. And yeah, at the moment we're literally just waiting. Okay, none of my concern. He does not seem to be in a hurry to attack me. We're gonna deny that seducing scheme. We get another perk in Marshall. I think we're gonna have to launch an invasion ourselves. I don't think Mordor is gonna launch that invasion. I think those alliances are scaring him off. Getting Ithilien would also be a good idea, but if I attack Mordor, this is gonna be painful. I do not have the troops to fight Mordor, I don't think. You want to go for a hunt, but you're far away, I think. Where are we going for a hunt? Yeah, we're not doing this. This would take way too long. So I think we're gonna be forced to declare war on Haruzan to break him away from Sauron. We're just gonna recruit a few more troops, because we desperately need those troops. And we're gonna be switching to stewardship to start extorting subjects, I think. And then to planned cultivation so we can increase development. We need money desperately, but I do want to get strategist first. We can forget about overseer. So we'll get strategist and then we will be switching. And we have a son. Who are you? Don't care, go away. Our son does not have amazing stats. He does keep Blood of Numenor 6, however. We will be teaching him ourselves. No, we're not joining your feast. And we're not coming to your grand wedding either. We really need to finish recruiting some troops here. Skirmishers, light cavalry, what do you have? You have elephant cavalry. That is unexpected. I did not think we would see elephant cavalry, which we have no counter for because we don't have Ithilien Rangers. Sure, we'll go for a game of chess. Good match, excellent. No feast, thank you. We'll wait for more gold to gather up and then we'll recruit some more troops. And I think then we'll invade Haruzan, because if they start to recruit a large number of war Mumakils, we're gonna have some issues. Oh my days, who are you and what do you want? You want an alliance? We will not be negotiating an alliance, my friend. Who's... Okay. We can hold a mystical communion, let's do that. He becomes my friend, that's great. There we go, we have a learning perk, we can take the cultural fascination. We can probably get plant cultivation without switching to learning, which would be good because we really need to focus on making money. We're not gonna go to your hunt in the middle of nowhere. I should probably check how long I've been recording. Yeah, we're coming up close to an hour now. So what we're going to do, we're gonna focus on gathering a bit more gold to recruit the most troops we can. And in the next episode, we're probably going to invade Haruzan. to take over this entire territory. And we'll continue from there. No, you're gonna restrain yourself. That would probably be best. As soon as we hit 1500 gold, we're gonna start recruiting. Retreat losses, friendly fatal casualties minus 25%, or enemy fatal casualties and defender advantage. I think we want less friendly fatal casualties, really? Hmm. We'll take this. Ah, we didn't get it. That's unfortunate. So anyway, that's the last perk we wanted. We're gonna switch to wealth focus. We desperately want to start extorting subjects so we can get stupid amounts of money. Because we need stupid amounts of money. No, I'll decline the hunt because we're going to war. So on that note, I'm gonna end the episode here, and I'm gonna see you in the next episode where hopefully things are gonna be a bit faster from this point on. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and see you in the next episode. Bye for now.